Oh, sorry, my microphone was off. Thank you very much for letting me know that. So I was trying to introduce our dear teacher today. She's Erika Castillo. She's a very experienced teacher here at the CBA. She has been working here for almost 20 years. She has studied education at La Salle University. She also has studied psychology at Universidad San Francisco de Asís. She has many diplomas in education, special education and inclusive education for the diversity. She also has a master's degree en RIA, Red Iberoamericana de Animación Sociocultural, Máster Iberoamericano de Animación Sociocultural y Comunitaria. She has been working here at the CBA for almost 20 years. So as I said before, she's a very experienced teacher. She has already attended many international seminars like the TESOL in 2017, and she also has attended the Didáctica Aplicada and Caldas, Antioquia. Yes, so I'm very glad to present our teacher today. Teacher, the audience is all yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you very much for the introduction. Thank you very much. For me, it is a pleasure to be part of this second conference. Okay, the topic that I am going to present today is neuroeducation, emotion, and student-centered learning. Very good. Thanks to new emerging researchers in education, okay, they show us the best way to teach and learn through experimentation and emotion. So it is a discipline that studies the functioning of the brain during the teaching and learning process, okay? It provides us with tools to motivate students so they have better learning that will later be transformed into our knowledge. Okay, it can help us to analyze the development of the human brain and its reaction to stimuli. It is very important, emotional and rational. All sensory information before being processed in the cerebral cortex, okay, passes through the limbic system to where it receives an emotional color. So everything we say and do is the result of brain functioning. So we are first emotionally and then rational, okay? This is the most important part. The brain needs emotion to learn, okay? Because when we are emotional, when we have emotion, we are eager. We want to more and more, okay? And the neuroscience teaches that emotion cognitive is relevant. That is why, we must awaken to curiosity of the students. This attracts them to learning. Curiosity is the most important emotional element in teaching. The students look for different examples that break the monotony, okay? And when learning, and this helps us to improve attention. For that reason, we have to give them different surprise. This is the fundamental emotion to generate learning and curiosity. So we have to use specific teaching strategies, okay, in order to let them to be more surprised. That causes, the students to seek certainties, okay. It is the link between the emotion and the memory. The higher the emotional impact of learning, the better it is stored in long-term memory. Okay, and this is going to help us in our mental process. Learning is one of the broadest mental processes, since it is based on the connectivity of nerves and reinforces the existing ones. Learning mobilizes emotions, reasonings, and decision making. It goes to long-term memory, and it is there where knowledge is consolidated and reconverted voluntarily and consciously. So it means that when we give the students good examples, okay, to learn, so we have to move their emotions. So It's going to be consolidated this knowledge in our long-term memory, and they are going to remember easily. Okay, but we cannot forget that these executive functions is in this area, in the front area. Okay, that is why the executive functions are very important too at the moment of learning. And we have to keep in mind those considerations, okay? Planning, organization, attention, self monitoring, working, effect, emotional regulation. But all of these are going to depend on our objectives for what I teach, okay? My objective should be very clear in order to have a positive result in this aspect. You know, for establishing this one, how does stress affect learning? What do you think about that? Because people now are like this, very stressful because of the pandemic. What do you think about that? How does stress affect learning?
Meanwhile, we wait for the comments on the teachers on the chat. Um, I think stress affects not only teachers but also students. Yes, it can block them if they want to learn. If there is a stress, then probably it is going to be very difficult for them to learn well, right, teach?
Yeah. So, stress is an obstacle to the learning process. Since the students feel anxious and desperate to learn. This is me like this at the beginning of the pandemic. I don't know what to do it. Okay, because um, the computer and the internet drives me crazy. And sometimes students feel frustration. We can cause depression, stress, scare, tension. Okay, for
Yes,
that
as
it's sorry, Lydia.
no, no worry, teach. As some teachers have here their comments, it says that probably stress affects the performance and the memory, and sometimes it says that it can have health difficulties. Yes, or it has. The more relaxed they are, the better they learn. Students keep thinking about what makes them stressed and they can't focus on their learning. So we have very good comments, teacher.
Yeah, totally agree. So we have to remember that when we present one activity and uh, the students don't feel uncomfortable with this activity, we create anxiety. So they study for studying, okay? They present for presenting, but it's not the objective. The objective is that the student has to be, they have to have positive stress, okay? They have to feel, emotionally happy. They have to work with pleasure. They have to learn. They have to feel, very happy because, they have to feel enthusiastic. And all this process is going to pass to the long memory and, they are never going to forget it. Yeah. And it's not only that, learning that includes motivation, that is very important, and emotion. And above all pleasure, it's learning that is in our brain. So we have to integrate all of them in order to have this question. Do you think that the acquisition of knowledge requires motivation? What do you think about that?
Well, let's wait for the teacher's response. But in my point of view, I think that, of course, if students are not motivated, then the process of learning again is going to be very difficult because no, we cannot learn if there is no emotion, and motivation is a very strong emotion, right?
Yes, it is. It is one of the most strongest emotion. Okay, so but it is integrating different stages too. Okay, because we have to remember that the students, don't learn in the same way. We have to encourage them and we have to use them for them different examples, different strategies, active teaching strategies in order to encourage this.
Yes, teachers agree with you. It says that motivation is a must in the learning teaching process. Students need to be motivated in order to learn. They said that motivation is the most important thing in the process of learning, intrinsic and extrinsic motivation to shape independent learners. We have that motivation is the most important element in the learning process. So, yes, Teach, everybody agrees with you.
Thank you. So we have to keep in mind that intrinsic and extrinsic motivation is the best one. Okay. So remember that the students need to be motivated in order to focus on the task they will accomplish, because it's very easy for them to reach their personal and academic goals. Okay. And in this sense, students' motivation is very important because they are confident, we work with satisfaction, because they have positive outcomes, they have attention, they have good sense of humor, participation, they need, they have experience, they have self-confidence, and as a teachers, we feel happy because we follow our objectives, okay? And integrating everything, because I think that we have mentioned about a lot about motivation, emotion, and all of them curiosity. This is like an integration of knowledge, that we have critical thinking, okay, creativity, rewards, emotion. It is very important because we have to consider something, that people learn in different ways. Okay, we are not the same as human beings. The information they receive is through multiple senses. Okay, according to our environment. The way we learn in every life accomplish us in all stages of our life. It is our individual stamp. Okay, for that reason, I consider, according to my point of view, that when we identify their learning styles in our classroom are very important, because are very important to identify the students' learning style, because you are going to apply different strategies, different supplementary material, and the students are going to be satisfied, because we have to remember that we learn in different way. So sometimes visual, because I can play one video, auditory, maybe sound or something like that, kinesthetic, because I have to use movement that I will use in my next activity. Okay, and we have to complement as a group of things that we need. Okay, I know that sometimes it's very difficult, because but not impossible, because there are groups that they don't want to be active, but we have to encourage them to do so. Okay, very good. Are you ready to practice with me? Okay, so now let's ready, set, and evaluate. This is one important activity that I am focused on reading. So you are going to see some strategies that stages, sorry, that and strategies too, that some of them are established in our institutional glossary, but I want to be a little bit more of that, okay? Very good. Let's start. So for example, when we have teacher student, it's very important for us to maintain the balance between teacher instructions and students' participation. Sometimes we consider, because somebody is reading the instruction, everybody understands, and it's not like this. No, sometimes it's better that let them read the instruction and ask them that they understand the instruction, and everybody participates. Okay, so in our classroom we have to use authentic material, or students bring our material. So you have to remember that nowadays students are our teachers too, and because of our experience, sometimes they help me, and they help me a lot. Okay, we have to plan activities that appeal to different learning styles. Yeah, so we have to focus on everything: listenings, okay, readings, movies. We have to encourage them critical thinking, because they are going to have the facility to interact, to socialize, to practice, to do, to create. Okay, so we have to create a comfortable environment. Okay, sometimes we follow our rules. Okay, but sometimes we don't know, and it happens sometimes to me that I have to create an environment that the students feel more motivated, more happy, and because of them I learn a lot of, because they teach me too, the students. Now the students are different. We have to give students decisions making responsibility, but obviously controlling that. No, it is very important for us. Now we are going to have the reading comprehension. This is the topic that I am going to present. And in this example, we are going to follow these stages. So my topic that I am going to present is there are different benefits to discover how students process information through active teaching strategies in reading. Again, here the learning styles are very important. Okay? The objective is identify the learning style student centers focus on active teaching reading activities. So it's important for me to identify the learning styles, especially when it has movement, because we have to keep in mind that the students online most of the time are sitting on. This is kind of a little bit tired, no? And the time, because of the presentation, it depends on the activity, of course. Materials, a lot of useful materials, photos, pictures, poster, videos, okay, worksheets, leaf worksheets, and a lot of material that the students, are going to enjoy it. But always focus on, discover the students' learning styles. Okay, I will start. Why is reading important? So we have to keep in mind that now a reading community online is hybrid or face-to-face too, hybrid. So I present these examples to the students and they are reading the examples that are here. For example, reading improves what? Vocabulary, because it is implicit, because I can give them some bank words, vocabulary. They have the ability to develop critical thinking, only looking at because they feel happy, they feel comfortable. They discover new things because they discover along the vocabulary, because they feel pleasure. Reading developments imagination. Oh, the children and the students, and believe me, all people, they are flying, okay, with their imagination. So students can socialize, okay, they have good interaction, good communication among, because they create good vocabulary and they share each other. So we are going to set a scene for a meaningful story, okay. So these strategies that I am going to use, I have to use mimic because they need to understand what am I doing. So for example, my instruction says, okay, you have to sitting up straight like a superhero because I am going to present the superhero activity. Noticing if we are very comfortable, we feel happy, okay? So like this, I have to create a positive environment. Very good. So student, you have to pay attention, okay? Pay attention to me, pay attention, okay? So please, your ears ready to listen. Maybe you have some problems. Pat them. Come on, you can do it. Pat them. Maybe we cannot listen to you very good. Our eyes, you have to listen carefully. Okay, look, open your eyes like this. Okay. A story creates a happy atmosphere. Because I practice these examples with my students, and really, really, they enjoy it a lot. Because they are eager to participate when we have this kind of movement. Very good. Let's continue. In the pre-reading activity, I talk about the cover. I told them I am Hulk. I am Hulk because I am green. This is my important superhero. Okay. So Hulk, helps people all over the world. And the most important, Hulk is green is my favorite color because it's the color for the intelligence, like me. Thank you. So the students interact because we have, different focus questions. Who are they? And they want to interact with emotion. What can you see? Okay, there is my superhero, Superman, Spider-Man, I don't know. No? Where are they? You say, in my house. So I try to let them identify with their superhero. And they do it. Now, remember, reading is my superpower. Okay? So, in order to have more active classroom, student center. I will read this example, but they have to read with mimics, okay? They have to feel the reading because it is very good for them in order to feel comfortable, okay? For example, the fast fireman, okay, firewoman is the fastest, okay? Hard to catch it, okay? And she wears black mask, red boots, she has red hair, and she catches people who are still in the bags. So the students, love to do so. So who is she? What does she wear? What does she do? What is her superpower? So they have to answer this focus question, what with mimics. And they really love it. Okay, because they start moving, stand up, moving like this. Perfect. It works perfectly. So in order to encourage a little bit, the students' vocabulary, I present some live worksheets, okay, about the superheroes. There are a lot of, but I am not, in these examples, I am not controlling a lot of grammar because the grammar is going to be controlled or reinforced with a lot of supplementary material and with our material. The most important here is that the students feel comfortable, happy, and create a positive environment. And with these examples, for example, I send the link, they interact very fast. In 3 or 5 minutes, they have to upload to the platform. And we have the result. Doesn't matter if they have 10, 8, 5, doesn't matter. The most important is that they participate with emotion, they feel happy and comfortable. In this sense, I have here, we are going to represent our superheroes. The superheroes is coming. Yes, cameras and action. Okay, so they have to present their superheroes. They have two superheroes name to give. Your superhero support powers. Yes, I am your superhero secret identity. Okay. What's good thing does your superhero? Look at my students. They are so happy. I really enjoy this activity, believe me. Okay, because they feel really, really, really happy. They want to do it more and more. Really, uh, when I was presenting this activity, they want to have another and more videos. Okay, and I would like to share a lot of that because of the time. I will show you some of them. Okay, Cynthia, could you please play the video? Would you like to be a superhero? Let's enjoy it. Okay, let's enjoy it. Yes, I am Hulk.
Of course, teacher, no worries. Give me a minute so I can present my screen.
Okay, thank you very much. Remember that you are Hulks too. Okay, so you have special superpowers. Yes,
We are
we are
people with
Hulks today.
special abilities and
Okay, superheroes. Do you love superheroes? Okay, this is a good representation in activities. There are a lot of.
Of course, we do love superheroes, and students they enjoy talking about their superheroes. Now, let me present the video so they know what the activity you did with your class. Okay.
Thank you very much, Cynthia.
she's guided with a wide range of Superman powers and super abilities. Thanks to her gifts of them along the goods and her active training. She possesses a great arsenal of weapons, including among my lasso, up to a part of industry magic tiara, which services a weapon. Thank you.
Okay, very good. Angie, very good, mamita, like this.
Hello, my name is Hanako. I don't longer exist. I was a part of a school that is in Japan. My job is to project spiritus school, and for teens to listen to me, they have to invocate me say Hanako, Hanako, Hanako. These are their I am like a superhero in school, but I am not a superhero. I use a canify, which is like my head. I always have it. Arigato means thank you in Japanese.
Oh my goodness. So sweet. Christian, your turn.
Okay, teacher. I am Thor. I am son de Odin. I am Principe de Asgard. I have a brother. His name is Loki. His name is Loki. He is the god. The god is life and is deception. I am God and the cooking. I like to humanity on Earth. I'm from invention for other galaxy. I have a manner to use. I like help my own galaxy.
Wow. Okay, Mateo, Papito, your turn.
Hello, I am a Jedi. My power is use a force. I superhero of galaxy. I consume the darks.
Very good. The Wonder Woman, Luciana, again.
Hello, I am Wonder Woman. I like to help others because it is good and others need it. I prefer to use my powers to help people. My powers are reflex, resistance, right fighting ability. I can talk to animals and among others.
Very nice. In conclusion, Thor.
Okay.
Thank you, Teach. The video was wonderful. Your students are so sweet, so cute.
Okay. As you can see, the students, really enjoy it. Really enjoy it. It was very nice, as you said in your comments. Thank you very much. Okay, we have to give them more examples in order to be more creative. Okay, very good. So, for example, affective thinking and stories. It's very important. Not only we can do it with reading, we can do it with listening, vocabulary. Now there are a lot of material, okay, a lot of tools we have online. So also, we can have, for example, reading helps. We have to remember that reading helps the students to feel motivated and happy. Look at their faces, okay? Emotions can affect the way they learn, of course, okay? In a happy environment, students learn better. They will never forget it because they enjoy it a lot. Okay, movements, it's important because we as a teachers, we feel tired too. Smiling, okay? Active, okay? Move it from one place to the other. So we can say, different activities. It's important. So we have to ask students how do they feel about it, and they feel so happy. Believe me, they want to do it more and more and more. So the students learn learning styles is easily for teachers to identify because with this strategy, more. For example, you can play maybe more listening, more activities that is kinesthetic. Okay, so it depends on us, but it's going to help us to identify how we can improve our teaching. Look at their faces; they were so sweet. Definitely, they were very happy. Okay, I want to keep in mind something that, as I mentioned before, nowadays, the students are our teachers too. And the assessment is very important because this is, for example, bidirectional. Why this is bidirectional? Because, not only teachers evaluate the students, they are students, okay? But also students, evaluate us. And we have to see that when we formulate our objectives for what I am doing that. So we have to see if our objectives are very clear. So we have to foster learning experiences, not only sitting. Okay? It's not good. So we have to have movement. sometimes I know that we have groups that they don't want to participate, but we have to encourage them, to push them, or like this, come on, give me your fives, when you're like this, goody, good job, true, false, like this. I don't know, okay? So the students are a little bit at the beginning shy, but then, come on, you can do it, okay? So we use assessment to improve learning. Yeah, it is very important. It is very important to assess the assessment, okay? Making sense of reading assessment, okay? So I would like to incorporate activities that practice teaching strategies. Teachers identify the students' learning styles, very important. So not only we have intrinsic but extrinsic motivations that motivate the students has inner strength to learn. Encourage participation to read and act using vocabulary, as I mentioned, and feel students emotionally happy. So my students were with a lot of satisfaction. I don't give them a lot of material, okay? Because when you present them, study these verbs, they don't do it because they have different activities. They're a little bit saturated, nowadays. It's better to present the examples in these live worksheets. That maybe 5, 6 words, it's enough. And in the process, we are going to reinforce this material. Thank you very much. I hope that you enjoy it. Uh, my presentation because I really enjoyed that. And I was very happy because these students helped me too much and they enjoy it a lot of. Thank you very much. If you have any
Thank,
question,
thanks to you, teacher. Yes, actually, there was a question before. We have teacher Pedro here. He asked if you have or you can give do you have any ideas about how to identify the learning styles from our students?
yes. For example, when you are generally in our activities, when we play the song, okay, listen and read and listen. So how do you identify? Sometimes students feel a little bit uncomfortable, but when we see their faces, there are other students that they feel a little bit more eager to learn. Okay, so how do you identify that? Because maybe for example, in vocabulary, sometimes the students say true, false, I don't know, like this, no? I say, hey, come on, wake you up. Okay, so stand up and say true, false. It doesn't say, okay? So when we have this process of examples, believe me, Pedrito, you are going to, like this, identify the learning styles because you are moving. So if you move, the students, some of them maybe no, because sometimes they're a little bit shy, okay? They don't want to interact, to participate. But when you do it, when you're the example, the students are going to do it too. So at the beginning, maybe you have to know your class, but with the process of the examples, with the stages, so you can present more listening. So listen to me, hello, videos, and you are going to see the feedback. In the feedback, we recognize their learning styles. Yeah.
Thank you, teacher. I guess you're right. We have to pay attention to details, how the students uh, behave in class so we can determine which learning styles they have. Thank you. We don't have any questions from the audience. They are just saying that you gave them great ideas to work in the classroom. They are very thankful for your presentation. They loved it. They're basically saying that thank you. It was very, very interesting, teacher. And for me as well, I enjoyed it a lot.
So, these kind of, thank you very much, my dear colleagues. So, okay, we have to keep in mind that not only we can present these activities with the reading, okay, so listening, we have a lot of tools, okay. So, for example, in the listening, the students can sing, and they sing like this with passion, no? Da-da-dee, da-da-da, my love, like this, no? They love to do so. And also in vocabulary, they can play with the words, showing you the images, and we can create groups, okay. In grammar too, in grammar we can use movements like true, false, I don't know, positive, negative. So we can use our body, okay, with our hands, say yes, pump, no, like this, okay. But in order to create a positive environment, this is the objective, okay. To and as I mentioned before, the assessment is not only for students, so the assessment is also for ourselves because Sometimes we think that we are teaching very good, but it's not always like this. Okay? So we have to recognize that sometimes we have mistakes because I think that we do our best, but maybe to reinforce a little bit more learning active strategies, uh, student centered. Thank you very much. I really liked it too.
Thanks to you, teacher Gita. Thank you for sharing your knowledge today and for giving us some ideas how to work in our classroom with our students and how to make them feel this emotion and movement and how we can actually put it into place. Thank you so much. It was a great presentation.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you for your help. Thank you, my dear colleagues. My pleasure.
You're very welcome. And thank you, teachers, for attending. I hope to see you this afternoon for the second part of the conferences in the afternoon. So enjoy the rest of the day, your lunch break, and see you in the afternoon. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye, teacher Sita. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, my dear
You're
colleagues.
very welcome.